Good afternoon. See, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at let's see if Adam got those sockets hooked up for this thing. Looks like no. Looks like not at all. Well, he probably gave up. I'll see what he's trying to do anyway. So let's see. Let's just run it, see if there's anything new. I need to check on what Adam did yesterday. Let's see, tutorial levels 1 through 7, added commands to display information about available achievements, funds. Movement, test socket for torpedo. Alright, so what we want are these specific animation effects that we can hook up for these things. Yeah, Adam's still got a whole bunch of stuff locked, which does not bode well for him having completed things successfully last night. So let's see, I'm going to need attack animation effects. So when we play an attack, we're going to want to have an effect that plays. And right now we've got these defend, high hit, low hit. I should actually move some of these things. So let's move those. So we have like the defend, the high hit, the low hits, and the pop-ups and everything. When we play these abilities, we just have these auto-kill SFX on there. We've got the stomp stuff all worked out. So, what do we specifically need here? Well, if we're going to be playing an effect, these things need to follow their actors. So we need to use location, use start, yeah. We're gonna need a few things. We're gonna need like player defend, and then like player defend other and everything else. So we're gonna pass in. Let's look and see where we're actually using this. So that's going to be the animation. This is going to be our effect. Alright, so we're going to want to get our movement, get physics state, and so we'll get like our last surface touched as well. We're going to want to be passing that in there. And we're also going to want like that animation. And we're going to want, if the effect is ours, because that's probably what's going on, why we don't hear a lot of things. Alright, so Dashkin entity actor. Alright, so actor of interest. Alright, so we can get a lot of the information that we might want in order to play the effect that we want. Maybe I should make these a little bit simpler. Like, instead of having a whole bunch of automatic crap. See if something else might be a little bit simpler to deal with. So let's see, we want to look for how we're determining if we're other. Alright, so get logic controller, cast to BP player logic object, and then we'll get is me. So we can do all this inside of the blueprint for the actual effect instead of doing it outside and doing all that stuff. What else would we do here? I mean, we could create and add components. Let's see. We're gonna need a little bit more. We're gonna need the actual kind of animation that played, aren't we? So we want like an interest string as well. So why don't we close all this? So I think it's in a Dashkin entity utils? Where is that anyway? Hmm. So we'll add another entity creation static method. So we'll set a string, so we need to go to our effect actors and add that. Alright, so that should allow us to create like a string of interest, and that'll allow our effect to do things like turn things on and off. So I'm trying to think, so if we have an effect which is on a player, we're going to have to start and stop this effect. So these are going to be like auto kill and stop. because this effect needs to play while the ability is in progress. And we're definitely going to need to know if it's our character. Yeah, okay. So that's how these effects have to go. So what I need is an effect thing that's going to be, it's going to use the material specific. I guess it really doesn't care about the physics material, it's just caring about that string that we're inputting. And so it basically plays different effects based on that string you put in. And then all the sounds need to basically be automatically set to use location false or true. Alright. So all of them need to be auto-activate to false for the sounds, and everything else, the controlling part needs to actually enable them. So let's start with the defendability. Alright, so we're going to use auto kill on stop, and our play SFX is going to be different. Our play SFX needs to go based on this other thing. We need to switch based on the input string. So we need to go to effects, logic, we need auto material swap. So let's duplicate that, let's do auto string swap. Alright, so on begin play, we don't care about surface changes. This is not going to be set for material, it's going to be set for strings. This will be set particles for string and set sound for string. So it's going to be an F string. Same with this. Why is that find function running? Set particles for strings, set current material. We don't care about this. Alright, so begin play is going to do this. let's see, we're also going to want like some booleans here for auto set for auto set audio position based on actor. So that'll be a bool. That'll be true. Expose publicly editable on instances of this blueprint. Yeah. So we're going to call this audio. And if this is true, then audio effects will not have position for owned if attached to owned actor. Right, so set particles for string, we are not going to input a material. It's just going to use the string that we use. So get string of so the parent object is going to have to be a. Alright, so we're going to have like our string. So we're going to get our owner, and we're going to cast to a Dashkin effect actor. So if it's an effect actor, instance editable, yeah, okay, so if it's an effect actor, then we are going to get string of interest. Hello, Caracan. I'm getting started. I'm working on the effect stuff that Adam was keen on trying to get in. So hooking it up so he could add effects for abilities like punching and all that sort of stuff, and have some flashy things happen. Alright, so get the length of this string. So if length is equals 0, then we are going to try to kind of auto-detect our string. So if this is 0, we are going to cast this thing over here and get this, and we're going to set our string to string of interest from this. Otherwise, we don't care. That is a pretty messy looking piece of spaghetti. I guess that might make it look a little bit more sane. Alright, so what we want to do is we've got our material map and our sound map. So let's see, what are we trying to do? The material map, basically we're going to say if the material map contains our string, then we're going to snag it off there. Otherwise, we're going to say if the material map contains an empty string, otherwise we're going to set our active particle system to nothing. So we'll do it like this. Alright, so if this is not the same particle system, then we will set it, and if for every, so we need values. No, we're not even doing anything here, are we? Okay, so if the current thing, you have to do some translation, gonna drop out, yeah. Sounds good. I'm just working on stuff, so we'll see. I'm still kind of waking up, so yeah. So if it's active, deactivate it. If it is, and then when we're finished, make sure to activate the new component at the end. Alright, so sound map. Gotta hook all this stuff up all over again. So we'll set our active component and set our sound, and we're just calling play sound on that. New active sound. So we'll play this based on the input special string that we've got. So auto kill on stop, and we're also going to have the auto string swap. And we don't want auto kill effects, we want an auto play effect. Auto play SFX. And let's copy this array over into here. So we can get that toasted. Auto activate to false. Alright, on our begin play for this, we're not actually going to do any of that stuff. Auto string swap, and we're going to say auto set position based on owned actor. So for our sound, we want our active sound set location. Yeah, it's like set use location. Alright, so let's have a local variable here, use location. Set it to true. And we'll play it if it's valid and everything else. So we need to figure out if we're actually going to use our location. So if auto set is true, so if it's false, we just go straight to it. And what we want to do is get owner, cast to Dashkin effect actor. If that is valid, let's see, get actor of interest, Dashkin entity actor is valid. And then we want to do get logic controller, cast to player logic object, and get is me. That's pretty nasty. Let's see if there's an easier way to do that. Yeah, not super nice, so basically set it to true, and if any of these things fail, then we play the sound using location. Yeah, simple enough. So what that'll do is it'll make sure that the location-based sound stuff doesn't get screwed up when you're doing anything else. Okay, so now what we want is some particle effect system stuff. So this one doesn't have any effects, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so let's go to our player logic object And let's make a new effect. So this will be the defend effect. And we're going to want to attach this thing. Alright, so this is going to be create effect by class with string. The string is going to be the anim for this guy. We're going to want to set the defend effect. And we're also going to want to attach it. So a good example of the attach is the slide. Alright. And then inside of our event graph, we're going to have this. Oh, that's not good. Had some bugs there for some of these effects, actually. Alright, so this is actually going to be a request stop. And what's this complaining about? Come on, mouse, why aren't you working? Okay, so we got that, and the other thing we want is when we are no longer defending If defending is false, should defend is false. If defending is false and we shouldn't be defending, then we need to check if this is valid. And we'll request edit stop and set it to null. Alright, so let's see if the defend works then. What did I change in material swap? Are we just never playing any of these effects? So we have this autoplay as effects. So we've got auto string swap. Yeah, so we have no sound map. We have nothing set in our sound map, so we're not going to play anything. So the autoplay SFX inside of the construction script needs to. Where is the construction script? There it is. So we need to grab the auto string swap, get the sound map, and we're going to add the autoplay SFX, and I'm just going to call this default SFX. Yeah, it sounds right. Why is it fun just popping the ball up? Why? Because it is. Alright, so that totally works. So that's cool. So what we want to do is we want to change this for everything. So we have the defendability with sound overrides, and we're going to want to add the same thing for everything. Alright, so want the defend effect. We will want the well, let's double check the defendability's place sound. So that's auto string swap. I want to know what this I screwed that up. I don't like how we can't select these things very easily. So maybe I should be setting this kind of like this. Set use location to true. Well, that's the opposite of what I want. Set it to false. We want to set use location to true to start with, and no, we don't want to set it at all, is what we want to do. So if use location is true on there, then if use location is false on there, we're not going to change it. We're only going to change it to false if we have a thing. Alright, that sounds fine. Alright, so the defendability needs to be set up. So let's see, I need to do the low hit, high hit. I guess we don't need to do anything with the slide. So it's low hit, high hit, and defend. Those are the only three that we need to worry about here. So let's go take a look at them. So we have the defendability, so let's rig up the low hit ability. So low hit is going to need auto kill and stop, auto string swap, auto kill and stop, and auto string swap, and an autoplay SFX. So the auto kill SFX, we've got all these different things. So autoplay needs to have all that. Use location is true. Play at start. Auto activation needs to be false. So auto kill there. Alright, so autoplay SFX, we're going to do default play SFX. And I need to go to the construction script and get that, and get this, and get string map. Get sound map, and we're going to call add for default. So just like that. Alright, so look at the low hit effect. So let's go to the low hit ability. I'm gonna kind of take this out of here. And we're gonna do create effect by class with string. Throw these things in here. Actor of interest is going to be our entity, and our string is going to be our animation name. Alright, so that'll create our effect with our class, and then we want to set all these things and attach. Yeah, so we need to set the low hit effect. What am I doing? And then we attach it, make it follow, make it do all that stuff, and that'll work. So we want to go to our if low hitting is false, alright, so this is low hit. So if low hitting is false, we need to okay, so we got these return nodes here, where we're not playing any of these animations. So we need to actually get our low hit effect, see if we are valid, and if we are valid, we're going to say request stop. I'm going to make sure that every control path actually returns this if we are doing this. So okay, so that should be good. Now we need to go to our event graph and do the same thing here. So is valid and request stop. Okay, so we should hear, for the low hit ability, we should hear some of these effects playing, and the auto activate true, auto set positioning based on, alright, so that should work. So let's listen for the low hit. Alright, cool. So what I want to do here is I want to see what actual events, what actual animations we've got. So get low hit anim, we've got plenty of them. So what I should probably do is I should go to the construction script for this guy and have a look couple of things here for the ad, and I can just kind of pre-fill these for Adam maybe, so he doesn't get all confused and not happy about anything. And that should make things a little bit easier.